1. Introduction. My name is Della. I am 36 years old. I work as a project manager at a large marketing company in the city center. My whole life is very organized. I value order and strict rules. My apartment is always clean, and I follow a precise daily schedule. I do not like surprises or unexpected events. My friends often tell me that I am too serious, but I feel safe and comfortable when everything is in perfect order. Then, a new person came to our office team. His name is Tony. He is our new graphic designer. Tony is 24 years old. He is 12 years younger than me. Tony is very different from my usual colleagues. He has dark, messy hair. He wears bright, colorful sneakers that make noise when he walks. When he laughs, the sound is very loud, filling the room. Everyone in the office liked Tony immediately. He is funny and kind to everyone. He tells many good jokes. He helps people easily, which made him popular very fast. I watched him from the safety of my office door. I saw how much the team enjoyed him. But I tried very hard to stay away from Tony. I am his boss, and I am much older than him. I thought that being friendly was not professional. I am the project manager, so I must follow all the company rules. I must keep a professional distance. I told myself that a personal relationship with an employee is completely wrong. I only spoke to Tony about work tasks and deadlines. I used a formal and cool voice when I gave him instructions. However, I often saw him doing small acts of kindness. He helped a tired colleague carry heavy boxes. He always asked if people needed help. His kindness was genuine, and it was hard to ignore. I had to remind myself of the age gap and my high position as his direct supervisor. I needed to maintain the wall between us. 2. A day at work. The afternoon was very busy. The clock showed 3 o'clock, and I felt stressed. I had a huge presentation tomorrow, and I needed many documents. I walked quickly to the copy machine. I needed exactly 100 copies for the client meeting. Order is important to me, and I needed those papers right away. I pressed the green start button. The machine made a loud, terrible, grinding noise. Then it stopped completely. The screen showed a red error message. I sighed loudly out of frustration. I felt my strict composure start to disappear. I lightly hit the side of the machine with my hand. Why did things always break when I needed them most? Suddenly, Tony was standing right behind me. I had not heard him approach over the sound of the office noise. He was very close. I could smell him immediately. It was a fresh scent, a mix of strong coffee and cold rain. It was an unusual smell for a warm office building. "What is the matter, Della?" he asked. His voice was quiet, but it had a deep quality that always caught my attention. I explained that the machine was completely broken. He stepped forward and looked inside the machine. "I can help you," he said simply. He did not ask permission, he just started working. He moved the paper trays and checked the small rollers inside. He worked quickly and with great focus. I watched his hands move with certainty. He seemed to know exactly what to do. In less than 5 minutes, Tony closed the panel. He pressed the button, and the copy machine roared back to life, printing smoothly. I was relieved, and I thanked him immediately. However, Tony did not walk away. He turned toward me, and he stood surprisingly close. The space between us felt small and charged. I had to tilt my head up to meet his eyes. He looked at me for a long period of time. It was not a casual, friendly look. It was intense, and I felt heat rise instantly in my face. I struggled to maintain my professional composure. He leaned closer to me, lowering his voice until it was just a soft whisper in my ear. "You look like you work too hard," he said, my breath caught in my throat. He paused, his expression serious. "You should smile more, Della. You have a beautiful smile." His words were unprofessional, but they made my heart pound very fast. I was his boss, and this was inappropriate behavior. I opened my mouth to tell him to step back, but no words came out. I could only look at his lips as he spoke. I felt a strong physical reaction to his presence, and for the first time, I found it impossible to focus on the rules I usually followed. 3, late night. We had a big deadline for an important client. We needed to finish the work quickly. It was late in the evening. Slowly, everyone else in the office went home. Only Tony and I stayed behind. Outside, the weather changed quickly. A heavy rainstorm began, hitting the large office windows very hard. The office became dark and quiet. We only used the small lights on our desks. The sound of the rain trapped us inside the building. It felt strange to be alone with Tony in the empty office. It felt like we were the only 2 people left in the whole city. We decided to take a break from the work. We were both very hungry. We ordered a pizza to eat. When the delivery arrived, we did not sit at our desks. Instead, we sat down on the carpet near the window. We opened the pizza box. The warm smell of the food filled the quiet, dark room. We started to talk while we ate. At first, we talked about the client project, but soon the conversation moved away from work. We talked about personal things. Tony asked me about my favorite music and places I wanted to travel. I asked him about his dreams and goals for the future. He was open and honest. I learned many new things about Tony that night. He is only 24, but he is very smart. He spoke about important life matters. He listened carefully to everything I said. He did not act like a young man. He seemed mature and very thoughtful. Time passed quickly as we talked. I forgot that I was his project manager. I forgot about my strict rules. The age difference between us did not seem important anymore. I felt relaxed and happy just sitting there with him. I stopped feeling like a boss who needed to follow all the rules. I started feeling like a woman simply enjoying the company of a man. The atmosphere was calm and easy. Tony made the late night feel special, not stressful. I did not want the night to end. For a special touch, the long conversation finished. The atmosphere in the dark office changed. It felt heavy with new emotions. We needed to clean up the mess from the late dinner. We stood up at the same time. We reached for the empty pizza boxes on the floor. My hand moved toward the edge of a box. Tony's hand moved toward the same spot. Our fingers touched lightly. It was not a hard touch, but it felt like a strong shock. It was like electricity suddenly running through my arm. I wanted to pull away quickly because that is what I usually do. But I did not. Tony did not pull away either. He moved his hand slowly and caught mine. He held my hand tightly in his warm hand. My heart started to beat very fast. It felt loud, like a drum playing inside the quiet office. He looked directly into my eyes. His face was very serious. He said my name, Della. His voice was low. I know this is difficult. I know I am much younger than you. I know we work in the same office. I am your employee, he whispered. But I need to tell you something important. I cannot stop thinking about you. You are always in my mind. Hearing those words made my mind race. I knew this situation was dangerous. This could become a big workplace scandal. If the manager found out about us, we could both lose our jobs. That fear was big and cold. I am a project manager. I follow rules. I value order more than anything else. But Tony's touch felt real. His eyes were full of strong feelings. I was 36 years old, and I had not felt this wanted in many years. The excitement was very strong. It fought against the fear inside me. I had a battle happening in my head. One part of me wanted to run away and keep my safe life. The other part wanted to stay right there, holding Tony's hand, and feel the thrill of being desired by him. I did not move. I just looked at him and waited. 5, the first kiss. Tony moved closer to me. I took a step back quickly. I felt the cold edge of my heavy desk against my back. I was trapped gently between Tony and the large piece of office furniture. I looked up at him. His eyes were dark and serious. He moved his strong hands and placed them carefully on my waist. I could feel the heat of his skin through my thin shirt. I knew I needed to stop this situation immediately. This action was wrong. It broke many company rules. My voice was quiet and weak, and it shook a little bit. Tony, I said again, this is a truly bad idea. We work here together. We cannot do this. I tried very hard to push my worries into the air. I tried to make him listen to my careful logic. Tony shook his head slowly. He did not remove his hands from my waist. He smiled a small, confident smile. No, Della, he answered me firmly. You are wrong about this. This is not a bad idea at all. I think this is the very best idea we have ever had. His words were strong and certain. They made my heart beat even faster than before, like a fast, small bird. He leaned down toward me slowly. He closed the small space that was left between our bodies. His lips touched mine. It was not a quick kiss, like a simple greeting. It was long. It was very slow. It was full of strong, deep feelings and passion. It felt overwhelming. I had never been kissed with this much feeling before in my life. I closed my eyes tightly now. The outside world and the dark office totally disappeared. All my careful rules and my strict schedule went away instantly. I forgot about being 36 years old. I forgot that he was only 24. The age difference did not matter anymore. My logical, rule-loving brain shut off completely. I only felt. I stopped thinking about the risk of a scandal. I stopped worrying about the boss finding out. I lifted both of my arms up quickly. I put my arms around Tony's neck and held him very close. I pulled him even closer to me. This kiss was incredibly powerful. It made me feel very much alive. It was the complete opposite of my quiet, empty life. I wanted this strong, wonderful feeling to last forever and ever. 6. Together at home. We needed to leave the office environment quickly. We called a taxi to take us to my apartment. The heavy rain had finally stopped outside. We did not speak much during the ride. The silence between us felt comfortable and new. We were moving away from the pressure of work and the office rules. We were moving toward something personal. We arrived at my apartment building. I felt a little nervous, but Tony held my hand as we walked inside. He was very gentle. My apartment is a place of order. It is always very clean and quiet, following my strict rules. Tony's presence instantly changed the atmosphere. The professional tension from the office was gone. It was replaced by a feeling of peace and closeness. We were finally just Della and Tony, not project manager and graphic designer. We spent the night together in my bed. I felt very safe with him, not afraid or nervous. Tony was kind and careful with me. We did not sleep much at all. We stayed close, talking softly in the dark for hours. The whole experience felt magical. I had not felt this type of warmth and connection in many years. My usual routine was completely forgotten. I did not worry about the time or my schedule. For the first time, I felt completely relaxed and accepted. In the morning, the light entered the room through the window. It woke me up first. I looked over and saw Tony sleeping next to me. He looked very peaceful and young. I watched him breathe for a few minutes. I touched his face softly with my fingers. This moment brought a clear realization to me. I had always thought my life was perfect. I had my clean apartment, my rules, and my organized routine. But looking at Tony, I understood the truth. My life was not perfect. It was empty. It was lonely. I had built a high wall of order to protect myself from the world. Tony's energy, his messy hair, and his loud laugh brought a warmth that my organized life could never provide. His presence filled the silence in my life that I had ignored for so long. I realized that this feeling, this unexpected love, was much better than being safe and alone. I no longer wanted the old, quiet life. I wanted Tony. 7. Monday morning. Monday morning came too fast. I felt a lot of stress when I walked into the big office building. The memory of the night before was clear in my mind. Now, I had to be professional again. It was very difficult. I tried to walk normally to my desk, but my hands were shaking a little. I had a terrible feeling in my stomach. I looked around quickly. I saw 2 colleagues standing near the water cooler. They were talking quietly. When I walked past, they stopped talking for a second. I immediately felt panic. I thought they knew everything about Tony and me. They must know. The secret felt too big to keep hidden. I felt shame because I am older than Tony. I am the project manager. I should follow all the rules. I thought about the possible problems and the scandal. This job is important to me, and I did not want to lose my good reputation. The fear of judgment was stronger than the happiness I felt with him. I knew what I had to do. I needed to end it now before anyone found out. I sent a message to Tony. I asked him to come to my office right away. I closed the door when he came inside. He looked happy to see me, but I did not smile back. I needed to be strong and cold. I stood behind my large desk. I kept distance between us. "Tony," I started. My voice was very formal. "We have to stop this immediately. What happened was a mistake, a big mistake." I looked down at my hands. "You are too young for me. Also, we work together. People will certainly talk about us. We cannot let that happen." I spoke quickly because I did not want to think about my own feelings. Tony looked very hurt. His eyes were sad. He did not get angry at my words. He just looked at me quietly. "I do not care about the other people, Della," he said in a low voice. "I care only about you and what we felt." He took one step closer to the desk. "Tell me the real reason. Why are you so afraid to be happy?" His question stopped me completely. 8. A happy end. I sat in my office. The door was closed. I was alone for 1 long hour. I thought about Tony's question. Why was I afraid to be happy? His words were very simple, but they were also very true. I realized that I was letting fear make all my decisions. I was afraid of people talking. I was afraid of losing my safe, organized life. But what was that safe life? It was quiet. It was empty. It was lonely. I remembered waking up next to Tony. I remembered the warmth and the feeling of being wanted. I did not want to go back to my lonely routine. I wanted the magic and the feeling of being alive that he brought. I stood up. It was lunch time. I knew I had to talk to him now. I walked out of my office and toward the graphic design area. I could feel everyone watching me. My heart was beating fast, but I kept walking. I did not look at the other people. I only looked at Tony. He was sitting at his desk, working on his computer. He looked up when I stopped next to him. His face was serious. "Tony," I said, my voice was low. "I am truly sorry." He waited. "You were right," I continued. "I was afraid, but I am not afraid anymore." A huge, bright smile appeared on his face. It was the smile I loved. It made the air feel light again. He stood up slowly. "I do not care about the rules or what people say," I told him. "I only care about you." He reached out and gently touched my arm. This touch was enough to tell me everything. "We can be careful here," Tony said. "We will be professional project manager and graphic designer in this building." I nodded. "Yes, we must be professional here." "But outside," he finished, "you belong to me and I belong to you." This was the happy ending I needed. I had spent so many years believing that order was everything. I believed that rules kept me safe. Now I understood that love was stronger than any rule. It did not matter that there was a 12-year difference between us. Love did not look at birth dates in a calendar. Love only looked at the heart. I smiled back at him. I finally felt free from the fear that had kept me trapped for so long. We made a quiet promise to meet after work. I returned to my office, feeling a new kind of peace. My life was still organized, but now it was also full. Tony had not broken my rules. He had just shown me how to make new, better ones. I was 36, and I was finally learning how to live and how to love.